palm, that's the moon. And let's bow down to one another to start our chair Tai Chi class today. We're going to start with the feet. So let's take a foot out to the side, flex the foot, toes towards your nose. Woo! And feel the calf contraction going on with this movement. So this is great because this helps us prevent leg cramps. Also, when we start the movement section with the foot, helps us to lower our blood glucose. So let's point it away now. And sometimes when I'm in socks, when I do the point and flex, my sock starts to come off. Y'all ever notice that? Okay, let's do that. So point and flex. So get that calf pump going on. Again, prevent foot cramps, improve ankle flexibility. It's considered to be our second heart in our body, according to traditional Chinese medicine, and more blood flow from those lower extremities back into the heart. So it's a good posture. Remember this one, especially if you're on long car rides, on an airplane, calf pumping. Not if you're driving, unless you got cruise control going on. I'm not advocating that. But if you're the passenger, get those calves pumping. And then bring it in. Let's do the other side. So sling, fling, hop it out there, and then lay on the back of the heel and invite the toes towards you. Now I'm here kind of at the edge of my chair because this doesn't feel good for my back of my leg behind connect. If I'm more into the meat of the chair or more back into the middle of the chair, just feels kind of spicy for me. And anyway, this is my favorite place to be, is more at the front of the chair. Now, point the toe away. Oop, my foot just did a snap, crackle, pop. Did yours? Maybe. Welcome to Chair Tai Chi. That is so hard for me to say. I don't know why. And let's get that pump going. So here we go. Woo! Does this side feel tighter versus the other one? Maybe, maybe not. Is this your dominant leg? Is it your right leg, your left leg? Not that you have to answer me back, but these are like kind of self-inquiry questions. This feels actually pretty good, at least to me. Hopefully it is for you too. And then bring it in. All right, from here, let's kind of align the spine. So think about, there's a little string here. We're kind of tucking in the chest, chin. Don't know my body parts today, folks. It's going to be a wonderful day. And let's listen to the breath as it goes in through the nose and out through the nose. And place our hands, find your belly button, place your hand kind of the center of that at your belly button, and maybe one hand below that. Relax those shoulders. We're going to do lower belly breathing, which has been scientifically found to increase the cerebral spinal fluid flow, which gets rid of the waste in your brain. So there's like a scientific reason for doing lower belly breathing to help lessen dementia, because what we have found scientifically is that if you're not able to get rid of that glymphatic waste in the brain, then you can have brain fog and start to accumulate those toxins, those wastes in your brain. We also do that, facilitate that with our Big Six Qigong detoxing method. So let's breathe in, extend the belly. And as we exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine. Again, breathe in, belly out, and exhaling. Relax those shoulders. Come on. Again, breathe in, belly out, and exhale. Chest is expanding also. Again, breathe in, belly out, and exhaling. From here, let's kind of soften those neck muscles a little bit with the Atlas point rotation. So we're going to take the nose and start drawing a circle. If this makes you feel dizzy, a little bit of vertigo happening, your eyes stay to the center as you're doing the Atlas point rotation. You might be feeling, you might be hearing that little crunchy sound when we do this. Again, today is Chair Tai Chi. This is wonderful for easing back challenges. My name is Gail. I'm your cruise director today. And let's pause, completely stop, and then go the other direction. Again, softening those neck muscles with this nice movement. This is my brother's favorite Chair Tai Chi posture. He has very stiff upper back, shoulders, neck. This allows him to drive a little bit better, when he's looking over the shoulder, left and right. I know a lot of us are relying on those cameras, right? The back camera, the front camera, but there's still issues where you need to look over that left shoulder for that blind spot. So again, this helps facilitate a little bit easier turning of the head. I love it. We're going to do swimming dragon next. So bring the head back to heart center. Also one that helps us with range of motion in this complex of our shoulders and neck and all that. So we're going to place our hands firmly together. And I'm going to bring my feet a little bit more apart. It was feeling kind of weird there. So they're kind of at angles here. Make it comfortable for you, okay? So we'll breathe in, belly big. Fill it up, and we're going to press one direction, turn the head the other direction as we exhale. Stay here. Let's breathe in. Exhale back to the center. Again, breathe in, belly big. Exhale, push it away. Staying here, breathe in, belly big. Exhale back to the center. Let's do the finishing breath by inhaling, circle, sweep arms up, and then bring the hands down the center. This is what we do in Chair Tai Chi as opposed to yoga, bringing the energy from the universe back down to our dantian or danjan. From here, let's bring our arm out to the side, and let's maybe place a hand on the hip or hand on the shoulder and start those arm stirs. Oof. So since I had a pacemaker put in, this was actually one of the exercises they had me do to get my range of motion back in my shoulder complex. You might hear some snap, crackle, pops going on here. You might be doing this slower. We do a lot of stuff for our shoulders in this class. You'll observe that, yeah? And then let's pause and make it go the other way. You might start to feel some sensations happening in the palm, in the fingers, in the forearm with this movement. We're moving energy. So Tai Chi is about moving energy, if you haven't heard that before. And then let's make it smaller, smaller, smaller. Then I kind of reset, kind of position my spine because I kind of leaned out there, right? We're going to do the other side. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit. Let that arm dangle there. Now you can place a hand on the shoulder if it feels more comfortable as opposed to the hip or the leg as you start those arm stirs. So again, to increase your range of motion in that shoulder girdle, you might be going fast or slow or somewhere in between, but do what you can with what you got today, okay? Always keep it between the easy and ouch. If it doesn't feel good in the body, don't do it. That's my word of advice. In a yoga class, in a Tai Chi class. And then let's pause and go the other direction. Very good. Next one we're going to do is called spread the feathers. That lets us to have more blood through the carotid, blood flow to the brain, which is very important. But we got to finish this one first. Stir arms. But then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Again, notice, do you have any sensation happening in that palm? Come up to tall posture, go back to the middle of your chair, feet a little bit wide, knees a little bit wide. And next is spread the feathers. So we have the hands spread out like a little starfish. We take it out to the side. Now I like to lower it a little bit more towards the floor and then turn my thumb to the back of the room. So that activates also the heart meridian, the pericardium meridian. So I'm going to take my opposite side, drop my ear towards my shoulder. Woo. I'm feeling it here on my extended arm side when I do that because I'm really turning that thumb to the back of the room. Very good. We're going to take the chin, look where the wall meets the ceiling. So we're going to draw either a half circle or a smile with our chin. So we're going to bring our chin down towards our chest, slowly, gently, and then up towards that extended arm side, up toward where the wall meets the ceiling, and then back to the center. So you may have noticed some activation of that arm when you did that, okay? Now let's do the other side. Spread the feathers, bring the arm out to the side, maybe lower it a little bit, and then turn the thumb to the back of your room. Sit up tall. Drop that opposite ear towards your shoulder. Ooh, I'm kind of feeling it in that, again, that extended arm side a little bit. Let's take our chin, let's point it towards where the wall meets the ceiling. So at the top of the half circle, then we're going to bring it down towards our chest and then towards that extended arm side and then back to the center. Very good. From here, cup the hands, let's swing the arms. I love this one. This actually like loosen the shoulder joints, but you know, the muscles around the shoulders, yeah? And let's kind of grease the elbows a little bit by taking the hands and tap the shoulders. So again, we're working the joints. elbows, wrists, shoulders. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. And just kind of let it be still. And let's spin the wrists. That's for kind of loosening the stuff around the joints and the wrists. Good for carpal tunnel. Good for bringing air right here at the chest, at the neck, if you need that. I need that. And then we're going to pause and spin the other way. That's where I usually feel more air, is when we spin that second direction. My left arm is very stiff. That's what I notice. My left palm, my left wrist, when I do this. We'll do one that we haven't done in a while next. It's a figure 8, but it's a different type of figure 8. Keep spinning the hands. All right, and then we're gonna, y'all feel that? Woo! Let's interlace the fingers, your normal way, whatever that means, okay? And then you're looking at your hands, your little interlaced fingers, and let's draw a number 8. This is kind of brain work going on here. Usually I don't feel the brain working until we go in the other direction. That's very challenging for me. I don't know if it's challenging for you. That might be a question I need to ask y'all. And we're going to pause. And now we're going to go the other direction. Oh my gosh. I feel like my hands want to go back to the original direction. It feels really awkward to me, okay? But I know this is like creating new neural pathways. So this is good stuff, okay? Good stuff. Woo! Let's clap the hands, warm it up, heat it up. And let's give our shoulders a little tender love and care. Rub the shoulder there with that heat. And I'm placing the other hand on my knee to transfer the heat to the knee and the shoulder at the same time. I'm doing a twofer. 2 for the price of 1. And if you want to reverse, reverse. Now, Louise is really talented. She's moving her hand on her knee, but you know, this is not happening to me, okay? It's just not happening. All right, now let's clap the hands again. Because we got to do the other side, right? Yeah, of course. Sometimes I'll forget though. Get that heat going. Heat, heat, heat. Create that energy. All right, we're going to take the hand to the opposite shoulder, hand on the knee, and start the circle on the shoulder. Can you do the circle on the knee too? I'm going to try. Oh, it works. Oh my gosh, I can do it. And then reverse. That might be challenging. Oh my gosh, my brain is really like, feels a little strange there. All right, and then bring it back to the center. From here, let's do wild goose flare. So we're going to take our hands, kind of really wriggle those wrists and bring it up. And turn it to the side. Turn it to the other side. Bring it to a letter T, flap them down, and then flap them up. Bring energy into the wrists, the arms, into those fingers. Love it. And then from here, again, arm swing. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. From here, we're going to do Kuan Yin paints the rainbow. So I'm going to scooch over into the center because we're going to do one side, then the other. So we have our palm facing our leg, and then we're going to take our thumb, turn it to the back of the room, pinky towards me. So we coordinate this with the breath. That also helps us to lower our stress and anxiety and be in the now. Don't think about the past or the future. So here we go. Inhaling up, up, up. And then exhale, woo, back behind you. You might have to turn that chest a little bit. And inhale, gather it up, flip it, bring the other one down, and then palm is towards you, but we're going to turn the pinky towards me, thumb to the back of the room. Let's do the Kuan Yin on the other side. And inhaling up, so we're isolating this joint, increasing our range of motion. Exhale, back behind you. Inhale, gather it up, flip it, bring it down. Turn that palm away, pinky towards me, thumb away. Here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, back behind you. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. Inhale, gather, flip it, bring it down. Other side, turn the palm away. Here we go. Breathing in, up, up, up. Exhale, back behind you. Inhale, gather, flip it, and bring the other hand down. Turn it away. Last time this side. Here we go. Inhaling up. Again, increasing range of motion, isolating that shoulder joint. Inhale, gather, flip it. Bring it down, exhale, turn the palm away. Last time on the other side, inhaling up, exhale back behind you. Ooh, I like that one's feeling better. Inhale, gather, flip it down. Now let's do the finishing breath into eagle claw. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up, bring down the fists. Now you're going to pick your favorite fist. It's either your left or your right. And inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Reach, reach, reach. Beautiful. Inhale back to your chest. Feel that little squeeze of the armpit here. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward like a little stop sign. Inhale back to your chest. Exhale out to the side. We're going to open and close 5 times. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the center. Switch sides. Inhale, other fist to chest. Or maybe it's the same side. Exhale, sky high. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale back to your chest. Open up the hand. Exhale, push forward. So this is for increasing your mobility. And then inhale back to your chest. Really spread out those fingers, folks. Exhale out to the side. Here we go. Open and close. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. One more time each side. Inhale, fist to chest. Big old breath right there. Exhale, sky high. Reach for the sky. Beautiful. Inhale back to your chest. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale back. Exhale out to the side. Let's do it. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. Last time. Here we go. Inhale, fist to chest. Exhale, sky high. Inhale back to your chest. Open up the hand. Exhale, push it forward. Inhale back to your chest. Exhale out to the side. Here we go. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to your waist. And inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Finishing breath. And then exhale, bring down the energy. Let's do a little bit of stuff for our feet. We're going to do the strengtheners. In fact, before we do that, let's do our detoxing. So we're going to spread out our hands and take it from the outside of our shoulder into the inside of our shoulder bone or collarbone and tap, tap, tap. It's called the Big 6, Qigong detoxing. And then stroke across. So you're not digging. It's just very light touch. Again, we're trying to encourage lymphatic drainage with these physical movements on our body. And let's do the other side. So tap, tap, tap across. And then stroke across. It's in a very specific pattern in order to go from high to low pressure, or low to high pressure, I should say. And then we're going to spread out our hands. You can bring it across or on the same side. It's in front and in the back of the ear. Bring it down the jawline and down the neckline. Make sure you're getting back here at the back of the head too, because we've got a lot of lymph node nests there at the back of the head. So again, this helps us to move that cerebral spinal fluid, get rid of the waste in our brains, and it exits through our trying to think here, our left vein. There's like 70% of our body drains on one side and 30% on the other. Other side, here we go, spread them out in front and back of the ear. Now, some folks also will like to tap. I don't like that part, so I don't teach that part. But if that's you like that, you can tap, tap, tap instead. So this is area number 2. Area number 1 is above and below the collarbone. Area number 3 is the armpit. So we kind of go into the armpit. You do that kind of little letter L with the hand. You can just push. You also should squeeze the thumb into those pectoral muscles. You can rub, scrub. You can tap, tap, tap. Of course, men and women that get breast cancer, they check these areas. Did the cancer move to these lymph node nests? So we're clearing the pathways, okay? Here we go. Rub, scrub, scrub. I know, it's weird. Other side. Here we go. Tap, tap, tap. We do similar Qigong detoxing techniques in a more traditional chair Tai Chi class, but I like to do them in this method because it's more beneficial for getting rid of moving the lymphatic fluids. All right, now area number 4 is the stomach. So you've heard of the thing, your gut is your second brain, yeah? Well, it is. So let's either kind of tap across or torso, or maybe fist pounding, or maybe circular movements. Now, if you're trying to aid digestion and elimination, you go from the very top to the left and make that circle. So that helps stimulate the ascending, descending colon, the big and little intestine. So, we're moving, we're massaging those organs, okay? That's a good thing. All right, our next area, we got to bring our feet out a little bit, and I brought them forward. Where the leg enters into the torso. I say this stuff all the time. I keep repeating. We're going to keep hearing it again. You can take the sides of the hands and chop what's called the qua in Tai Chi. It's also known as the inguinal crease. And no, I'm not saying that right, but I'm doing the best I can. Ovarian, uterine, prostate cancer. These are the areas they're checking. Did the cancer move to these areas? Let's keep it clear, folks. Try to do this daily if you can. Chop, chop, chop. And then I'm going to bring my feet in. My feet are still a little bit forward. I'm going to take my fingers, the pad of my fingers, stroke the back of the knees, or you can gently chop. Lots of lymph node nests in the back of the knees. You tend to get swelling, edema in the feet. Start from number 1 through 6. This is called the Big 6. If you want to look this up later, I'll try to remember to put that in the follow-up email also. If I don't, y'all call me out on it, okay? I do send a follow-up email. It has the video, usually in the second email, and I send out the pain and distress survey. A couple more tap, tap, taps, or little scrubs here. Beautiful. And then we're going to go on to the knee strengthening. So from here, go ahead and clap your hands and get some heat going on here again. And into the knees. So when we go in a circular movement, that is stimulating the stomach meridian. And then reverse. Maybe come up on the pads of the fingers. It almost feels ticklish to me. Almost. I'm going to go in the reverse direction. Okay, and then tap, 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 the outside. Trying to remember which one this is. I think this is the gallbladder meridian. This is also for lessening knee pain. I'm not whapping, I'm just tapping. And then on the inside is the gallbladder. Some folks will cross their arms and do this. But also, if you're curving your hand here at the front of the kneecap, it's getting that stomach meridian also. Now let's scooch back in our chair. It didn't squeak. We're going on to the knee strengtheners. So I invite you to lift a leg up, and I'm going to lift it up off the chair there and point your toes towards you. Now I feel this a little spicy down the side of my leg. You may or may not be feeling that. And then we're going to lower our foot. We're hovering, and then we're going to point the toe and release. So this is a brain building abdominal exercise. So we're going to flex the foot. In addition to the knee strengthening, okay? Toes towards your chest, really flex that heel, okay? And then lower down, whoo, and then point the toe. Sometimes my toe pops there on that one, snap, crackle, pops, and release it down. Now we're gonna add on the brain stuff. So flex the heel, opposite hand, flex the hand. So it's the upper body, lower body, left side, and right side. So we're doing some sneaky brain work here. And then lower it down, hover, and then point the toe, point the hand. Now let's do a little bit of abdominals by doing a weird basketball dribble. You can make it shorter range of motion. You can make it big range of motion. And release. That felt weird. Let's do the other side. Flex the heel, flex that opposite hand, do your little stop sign right there, stop sign. Woo! And then lower. And let's point the toe, point the hand. Zip up those abdominals. This is a sneaky Pilates move, by the way, and start the little basketball drill. Now it can be tiny range of motion or it can be big range of motion. You kind of choose, okay? And release. Now we're going to do the last set. We're going to flex that heel, 2 stop signs. Really bring those fingers towards your chest. Get a little forearm activation going on here. Lower it down. And here we go. Point the toes, point the fingers. And then alternate. I guess this is a swimming pattern, maybe. And if you want to, both at the same time. I don't like that one, but I do it anyway. And release. Woo! Did you hold your breath? Yes, okay. Flex the heel, flex those wrists. Woo! and then lower hover and point the toe. Ooh, it snapped. And then alternate. Here we go. And if you want to, at the same time, my brain was going, what are you doing? Who knows? And release. Come a little forward here. Clap your hands. Get some heat going on here. Heat it up. Heat it up. And I advise you to put this on your hips or your backside of your booty. Get a little heat there, because doing that was a little bit of back, front, side core muscles being activated. And if you want to go to the outside, that works too. You can go down the side of the leg, down the shins, up the calves, up the underside. Get it really good on that underside and the other side. And then shake those legs. Shake, 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 shake. And then stomp the feet. And again, shake the legs. I'm on the balls of my feet to make it shake more. And stomp those feet. And then make it nice and still. Readjust your posture. Now let's do sumo stomp. First, we're going to do it out to the side and in. Called air pose in yoga is what I call it when we do chair yoga. Imagine there's a small soccer ball on the floor. Now you got to step over the soccer ball. If you want to have a little bone building density to it, you release the foot. Not if you have brittle bones, though, or if you have that plantar fasciitis and it's kind of spicy. Unless it's okay, So this is a variation of sumo stomp. See what you can do with just your own strength, and then see if you can go a little bit more into your range of motion by bringing it a little higher and releasing it. One more out, and one more in. Very good. Now we got to do the air pose on the other side. So bring it out and in. Now I'm on carpet, so I'm making these little carpet angels when I'm doing this. And again, there's that soccer ball. Let's pop it over the soccer ball. Ooh. Notice it feels different one side versus the other. Again, if you want to use your hand to increase your range of motion in this hip complex, please do so. This is a functional move, getting in and out of the car. You probably recognize it, yeah? Maybe you want to release it for a little bone density building. Ooh. One more, two more. And I don't know how to count. One more. Now, I'm going to either interlace my fingers here on my shin or back behind my knee pit, and I'm here at the edge of my chair. I'm going to lift that leg up and point and flex. Yes, we pointed and flexed before. Yeah, the English is not moving smoothly today, okay? It's probably because I got CRS, can't remember stuff. y'all fill in the blank. And then make your foot still. Now look at your foot if you can and draw it inward. Do a tiniest little circle that you can. Notice if it's a smooth circle, then make it medium size. I'm looking at my foot here. And then make it big, big, big. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. And then pause. And then look at your foot again. You're going to draw it the other way. So mine's kind of jaggedy in its circle shape. And then medium. And then as big as you can. And release. So again, great for leg cramps and stuff. So interlace here either at the shin or back behind the knee pit. And I'm kind of leaning back here. So again, point and flex. Ooh. You kind of feel your shin muscle when you have it here in the shin area. And it feels kind of weird. Yeah, of course. And you're going to pause. My hands are sweaty. All right, now draw your circle inward and try to make it small, small, small. If you need to stick out your tongue to do this, it makes it easier. That's the rumor I'm starting, okay? Maybe not. Make it bigger size. Why does it feel better when it's bigger size? That's what I want to know. And then pause. All right, now let's draw it the other direction. So here we go. Ooh. It's not a smooth circle, folks, okay? Medium. And make it big. Oh, it's good stuff. Or is it bad stuff? And release it down. Again, stomp those feet. And shake the legs. I'm going to hang on to my chair when I shake the legs. And stomp the feet. And shake the legs. The people in the house are probably going, well, what are you doing? From here, let's do the finishing breath, inhaling up. And let's do spinal cord breathing. It's kind of like cat-cow. So we have the cupped hands here in front of us. Let's inhale, elbows up, chest forward. Squeeze those back muscles and exhale, curve your spine. A little cat back right there. Now turn to the side, inhaling up, 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 up. Exhale back to the center. Let's go over to the other side. Here we go. Inhaling up, 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 up. Woo! Exhaling. One more, each side. Here we go. Breathe in and breathe out. Other side, breathe in, elbows up. Back to the center, and let's do that finishing breath. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up into blood pressure technique. Create a heart with your hands, bring it down, and then we're going to grab our thumbs into our palms, fingers on top of the thumbs, elbows back, breathe in, squeeze the upper back. And then as we exhale, we turn the arms out to stimulate that heart meridian. And then here we go, inhaling up, 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 up. Exhale, bring it down, back of the hands, grab those thumbs while you bring it down. Inhale, elbows back, chest forward. Here's your cat pose or your cow pose. Exhale, out to the side. Inhaling up. Exhale, bring it down. Last one, grab those thumbs. Inhale, elbows back, hinged forward, forward fold or cow pose. And then exhale, out to the side. Inhaling up. And then bring down that energy from the universe back down to your Dantian, your Danjan, your Tantan. Several names for the same thing. Start those circles. Now I'm bringing my feet a little wide. This is Perry. We're shifting weight from one bun to the other. You should feel that, yeah. It's also stimulating our pancreas, our gallbladder, the liver, the kidneys, because we're kind of moving, massaging those internal organs. It's a good thing, I hope. Just know that air might happen when you're stimulating the internal organs. Just imagine what that might be, burping, etc. And then we're going to pause and then wipe it out. So it might take a couple times to kind of get in that groove, that pattern, that I don't know, kind of moving with purpose here. This is for our brain. This is for our core. And then let's make it to where you're coming over to my house and you're cleaning my windows at least once every 10 years. Okay, maybe more than that, okay? Go as slow as you need to, because sometimes we do lots of stuff for those shoulders. Oh, yeah. And then pause, and then think about wiping it in. Okay, here you go. Here's your thing. Wax on, wax off. It's a meditative thing. You might be feeling a little bit of sensation happening with the hands, with the palms. Notice what you notice, or don't notice, yeah? And then make fists and bring elbows across. So really massaging those internal organs with this one. And it's affecting the muscles in between those ribs, intercostal muscles. So it's a good thing. Okay, we're breathing more into our capacity, possibly. Hopefully, you might feel a little tired. And then bring it on top, wipe it in, wipe it in. And then make it smaller, smaller, and smaller. Notice what you notice. Are you feeling that little sensation happening with those palms? Maybe. And bring your hands to your collarbones. Let's thump our thymus. That helps us to build that T cell production. We kind of need that once we pass 30, once we're in the vintage years, yeah? That's for boosting our immunity. And then from here, make the hands still, bring the hands out in front. So you're trying to line up your hands here. You're trying not to have one lower than the other. And you're looking at that space in between the fingers. We're going to do Tai Chi ball. I'm going to bring my feet a little wider here. We're going to inhale, drag it apart. And then exhale, float it back in. Relax those shoulders. You might feel a buildup of the tension coming across this circle that we're making here, this Tai Chi ball. And again, inhaling out. Exhale, float it in. Now from here, bring one hand closer to the chest and one hand out to the side. Let's turn over to the side where the hand is extended out. We're going to do cloud hands. So inhaling, bring it across. Once we get over to the other side, turning in that quad, we bring the hand that's at our chest down and the other hand at our heart, and then bring it across. Switch the hands and start bringing it across. Switch the hands, bring it across. So very kind of a smooth thing, you're kind of doing this really slow-mo and then bring it across. I'm not going to cue the breath because I'm talking a lot, but just keep breathing, okay? Whatever kind of feels natural in your body. Just get that breath of flowing. Again, cloud hands. One more time. Very good. Now from here, bring a hand out to the side, palm up. Well, let's inhale. I'm going to place the other hand on my leg, bring it across. This is called swallow flies to the nest. Exhale out to the side. Inhale up and over. Here's your side lateral flexion in yoga. And exhale, land it in front. Then you switch sides. Inhale, bring it across. That stretch in those side body muscles, yeah? Exhale out to the side. Inhale up and over, stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale. Again, swallow flies east, breathe in. Swallow flies west, breathe out. Swallow flies up and over, exhaling. And inhale, lands in its nest. Maybe I got the breath mixed up here. Let's inhale, bring it across. Exhale out to the side. Inhale up and over. And exhale. Let's do the poem one more time. Swallow flies east. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And lands in its nest. Last time. Swallow flies east. Doesn't know directions. Swallow flies west. Swallow flies up and over. Feel that stretch. And lands in its nest. Let's inhale, circle sweep arms up. And bring down the chi. Beautiful. From here, go back to stomping the feet. Wiggling the legs. And let's bring a foot forward, out to the side, forward to the chair. Other side, forward to the side, forward to the chair. Adding 5 to it. Forward to the side. Draw it in 5 times. Maybe a hand underneath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Way out. Forward to the chair. Last one. Here we go. Forward. Way out. Draw it in 5 times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. From here, keep the ankle bones together, feet bones together, maybe little fists here as we heel toe over to the side. This is called jitterbug. Strengthening those ankles once again and bring it back to the center. Again, try to glue those ankle bones together. Now I'm on a metal chair, so my behind on the metal chair is moving pretty smoothly. It might be different if you're in a cloth chair, yeah? Just notice what you notice here. Are you warming up your behind? You probably are. If you don't like the twisting of the upper body, you don't have to do that. And bring it all the way over to one side and join me in the center. Ooh, I just burped. Again, air happens. Bring the heels out, toes in. I'm gonna feel a little awkward. Let's independently walk them out. Here we go. I'm gonna hang on to my chair when I do that. And I notice my left one is not as strong as my right one. I'm gonna tap my toes or your heels or, just bring them together. Bring them in. And then one more time. So there was a survey that I sent out on my YouTube channel asking favorite chair Tai Chi poses. It was swallow flies to the nest, teacup, what was the other one? Tornado, and monk carries a flag. So monk carries a flag got 20% of the votes. Tornado got 0. I wonder why. And there was a tie between swallow flies to the nest and teacup. So guess what's next? Teacup, of course. One more time in, and then one more time out. Even though it's like a complex thing, right? Woo! But first, before we go into teacup, clap those hands. Again, get some heat going on here. Let's give our shins, our calves a little love, okay? Because they were doing a little bit of work there, yeah? Get those calves. Go ahead and get the outside of the leg, the insides, the knees, the undersides. Oh, the underside. Maybe the hip bones, maybe the booty bones. Do we have booty bones? I guess we do. All right, and then from here, let's do teacups. We're going to do a palm up. And then you're looking at your cup of tea. The objective is to keep the palm up. It may not happen. Just know that. It's okay if it does or does not. So we're going to bring that teacup to our armpit, so elbow back behind you, then turn the elbow out to the side. Now I'm at the edge of my chair, and I'm hinging forward because I'm going to hide my hand. So hide your hand. Very good. Then I'm going to lean out, bring my arm out, and I'm looking palm up. Okay, here's the complex part. I'm going to hang onto my leg when I do this, feet a little wide, and I draw my circle in front of me and up above me and bring it back. Did you spill your tea? Or do you even know? Well, let's try it again. Hands forward, palm to the armpit, elbow out, hide the hand, lean out, sling that arm out. Look at it. Okay, palm up. Okay, got it covered. And I'm looking at it, belly button tight. Ooh, I spilled it a little bit and bring it back. So this is an element of tornado that we have going on here. Now I hang onto my leg, I brace against it. So that's what works for me. Again, let's do that again. Palm to the armpit, elbow out, hide the hand, and then lean out, palm up. Here we go. Look at it if you need to. Lean back. There's a little element of boat pose going on here, our yoga boat pose. Let's do that again. Lean back or lean forward, palm to the armpit here, and then elbow out, hide the hand. My favorite part, my least favorite part coming up. Lean out, palm up, and then here we go. Belly button tight. Here we go. Woo! Ooh, you got to lean back. You got to move from one hip bone to the other and bring it in. Did you spill your tea? Maybe. Shake it out. Okay. And get that tea off your body. All right. Let's do the other side. So palm up. Here we go. And then lean forward, palm to the armpit. So feel that squeezy business going on. Squeezy business. Elbow out. Hide the hand. My favorite part. Y'all know that. Okay. Lean out. Palm up. Okay. Here we go. And then lean back. Oh, my goodness. And bring it back. Did you grunt? I grunted a little bit, truth be told. Here we go. Let's do that again. Palm to the armpit, elbow out, hide the hand, and then lean out, palm up, and here we go. Do a low circle and then back up above you and swirl it in. Let's do it again. Bring it, your body forward, palm to the armpit, elbow out, hide the hand, squeeze that armpit, bring it out, and here we go. Zip up those abdominals like you do in Pilates and then swirl it up and bring it in. Now, some people want to be fancy when they do that. They'll really be dramatic when they bring it in. Does it make a difference? No, it does not. Do what you will need to do. Here we go. Palm to the armpit, elbow out, hide the hand, bring the palm out to the side, and here we go. Woo! I don't know if it worked or not. Let's try it one more time. This time, look at your hand. Make sure it's palm up. Okay, here we go. Palm to the armpit, elbow out, hide the hand. Everything's palm up so far. Lean out, palm up. Okay, now I'm going to watch it. Ooh, I don't know if it's working. Okay, and then bring it in. I think that's all we can do on that one. Inhale, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down that energy. Okay, I'm going to come up to the camera. Y'all stay there. We're going to do a little bit of energy work. If you need to get a little sip of water, this is your time to do that. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Let me get a little sip of water just to wet my whistle. Today I have the fan on, so with me talking and the fan on, it kind of dries out my throat a little bit. Let's see if my chair squeaks. It does. Okay, let's get into some of the hand work first, okay? So we've not done this one in a while, and we're going to take the pad of the finger underneath the pad of the joint of the first index finger and raise it up. So we're stretching the base of the hand when we do this. So osteoarthritis. Osteo means bone. Arth means joint. Itis means inflammation. So you might get a diagnosis of, ooh, you've got osteoarthritis. It sounds worse than what it actually is, okay? Just kind of know that, yeah? And release it. Let's go up to the middle finger and then raise it up. Ooh. Notice if it feels a little spicy, it feels a little stiff, if it feels different than the index finger. So this feels different to me. Of course, I've jammed this middle finger doing some, jumping jacks, that kind of thing, hand hitting the foot, that kind of stuff, or soccer kicks, I should say. And then let's move it into the ring finger. So here we go, at that joint. Feels interesting. I keep burping, folks. And man, my air is escaping like crazy on me today. And let's do the pinky. It's good for trigger finger also. Might be a little spicy. So again, do what you can with what you got. And let's move it to the thumb. Okay. And release it down. Let's do the other hand. Rest the other hand. Again, paddle the finger underneath that first joint and then lift it up. So you're also comparing left versus right. Is this different in the range of motion? It might be. Your dominant hand may have more mobility than the less dominant hand. And release. And then underneath the middle finger. Again, notice what you notice. And release it down. Let's do the ring finger. And ooh, that's stiff. Oh. And again, kind of breathe into those tight areas. I know it's a weird thing to say, right? But think about your breath going directed right there at the base of the finger. And just think, softening, releasing, letting go. And let's do the pinky. Here we go. Pinky, pinky. We'll raise it up. Again, notice what you notice or don't notice. Because it could be there's not anything going on and that's what you notice. That's okay too. And release it down. Let's do the thumb. It's not as dramatic on the thumb compared to the fingers to me in this movement sequence that we're doing. And release it down. All right, so we're going to glue the inside of the arms into our rib cage. And basically, we bring our fingers together and our thumbs like at attention. And then bring the thumbs into the side of the hands and up. One hand likes to be lower than the other. I don't know what the deal is. Of course, I'm looking at myself in the camera and I can't figure out which one do I need to move. I don't know. And let's take the thumb to the bottom of the hand. Ooh. Does one hand feel different than the other when you do this? Probably, yeah. Maybe your mouse hand feels more limber. Maybe it does not. Are you able to type without looking at the keyboard? Are you a hunt and peck typist? What does that have to do with hand health? Well, because you've trained your hands if you do not have to look at the keyboard. All right, and then shake it out. Just kind of make it shaky, shaky. Now, go back to the interlaced fingers here that we did at the very beginning, and let's draw that sideline number 8. Little wrist mobility enhancer here. Might feel a little tired. We've been doing a lot of core, a lot of brain work in this class, so we're going to pause. Now, reverse it. Does it feel easier to do compared to when we did it at the beginning of class, or is there a challenge going on? It feels easier in the actual joints. And if I were to say for me, it's not as much as a challenge as it was at the beginning, but there's still a challenge going on. All right, and then from here, again, shake it out. Shake out that muscle memory. Now, I'm going to take the pads of my fingers and press into the thumb. So it's not like being flat. It's a roundy movement. So press down and away and just move it to the next fingers. I got my fingernails digging into me, so I kind of move it a little bit to be on my thumbs in a proper place. So this is part of the stroke prevention hand movement sequence that the National Arthritis Foundation does. So we do it in our Chair Tai Chi class also. But it's not just this movement, it's the sequences that we're doing. All right, and then we're going to cover our thumb on top of the finger and flick a bug. Lots of June bugs out there. Flick them off. Here we go. Notice if one finger feels a little spicy when you're doing this. It might. Okay. Now, if you can, flick your thumb, which is weird, right? All right. From here, bring a hand onto your leg. I'm going to move away from the back of the chair to do this. And then I have the wrist curving off. Now my hand's on top of the fingers. I'm going to lift up and down. So this is your water pump. It's also a lymphatic drainage movement sequence. A little bonus here. You might feel some snap, crackle, pops happening here. Okay, and let's do the other side. Hand down, fingers on the fingers, wrist off, and then up and down. This one doesn't snap, crackle, pop as much as the other one. I don't know why. Maybe because I kind of worked the hands a lot today, yeah? Of course, we're going to do the hand tapping sequence because I know y'all love that. All right, and then I'm sitting up nice and tall, squeaking my chair, of course. I'm going to tap, tap, tap the pinky side. That's for lessening headaches, vertigo. So again, we're not whapping, we're just doing the tapping. And then let's switch that to the interwebs of the thumb. That's for aiding digestive disorders, nausea. And I let my fingers kind of shake here. So maybe this is a little more vigorous than what I was doing on the sides of the pinkies, maybe not. And then switch it, because you know, we got to work the brain on both sides. More opportunities to do this movement. You do this for about a minute. We're just doing a sampler today in our chair Tai Chi class. Then we're moving it to the interwebs of the fingers. So that is for pain or numbness in the limbs. So if you got rings and you're going to be a little bit more tender, a little bit less vigorous. If you got rings on both hands, maybe you're making a little clank sound. So here's where it's kind of interesting. You normally interlace your fingers a standard way. You probably didn't know that, but you do, believe me. Make it still and then wiggle that top thumb. Now you're going to take the top finger, and then make the other finger be on top. So switch it and wiggle it. So it should be the other finger on top and go back to tapping. That might just kind of weird you out a little bit. That's okay. Again, creating those new neural pathways. Excellent. So now we're going to go to the pulse points, the wrist. So that's for heart cardiovascular issues. So some folks will do this like this, but I like to do it up and down because then we get to do it twice as long. So right there at that pulse point, okay? Makes a nice little tap sound. And again, I'm not just tapping. And flip it. Let's do the other one. And we're going to do two in this next sequence. So this next one is the back of the hand. And I cup it because I've got that ring there. And I tap the back of the hand. That's for osteoarthritis, for lessening back pain. These are related to reflexology, places in our body. Your ears, your feet, your hands are represented. Your body is represented in those places on the body. You can kind of look that up if you want more information. And then let's move it to the back of the wrist for neck and shoulder pain. So again, cup the hand, move the ring a little bit off the back of the hand. Let's do the other one. So here we go, back of the hand, again, cup it a little bit. And then move it to the wrist, again, curve it a little bit. And then make a fist. Let's punch into the palms. So this is for lessening stress, anxiety, improving clarity and consciousness, and noticing your strength, one side versus the other. And I'm being a little vigorous here, just a little. Now, other side, you're going to notice, is this one strong? Is this one weak? This is my weak side. Doesn't feel, it feels different, okay? Woo! Clap those hands, clap them again. Heat into those palms. Move it down into the fingers for increased circulation. I'm gonna scoot back in my chair. We're going to do that little bit of guided rest, relaxation here. So I invite you to get comfortable. Maybe it's scooting back in your chair, bringing those feet wide, crossing the feet, whatever it is. Maybe you're placing your hands on your belly, palms up on your thigh, or maybe here at heart center. Place them where you need to, yeah? I'm going to place them here, palms up on my thighs here. Now, what you can do is to tilt your chin in towards your chest and gaze down at the floor, or softly close the eyes, or somewhere in between, okay? So I invite you to imagine the crown of your head, and it's opening up a little bit. We're bringing in that healing sunshine through the crown of our head. And then it's going from the crown of the head down our neck, down our torso, down through both legs, all the way down to the tips of the toes. So we're bringing in that healing sunshine, healing light. It's saturating every cell in the body, every bone, every tendon, every ligament, all the layers of the skin. If you have a challenge area or a spicy area in your body, as you breathe in that healing sunshine, that healing light, direct it maybe to that area, allow it to soften, allow it to accept that healing sunshine, that healing light. Breathe in the light, breathe in that sunshine, the healing, see it, feel it, as if you are already healed. And then bring your eyes to gaze forward. Bring those hands together, heart center, or hands palms together. You get to choose here. And in gratitude of just showing up today, let's release our chin towards our chest. Feel that stretch in the back of the neck, the shoulders a little bit. And let's think about one thing that we're grateful for, or an idea of gratitude. Grab it, clasp it. Let's place it into our heart space as we breathe here. Thinking about what we're grateful for today, or an idea of gratitude. Good. I appreciate y'all signing up for class, coming to class, or maybe watching the video. You've shown dedication, determination, and discipline and responsibility for you, for your health. So on your journey of self-healing, self-health, that is really awesome and special. So I applaud you. And then let's bring our eyes to gaze forward. Open up those eyes, flutter those eyelids, and then let's end our class the traditional way that we began it. I'm going to scoot a little bit forward and then sit up nice and tall. And do that right fist, that's the sun, and that flat left palm, that's the moon. And then we bow down to one another in respect in our Chair Tai Chi class. This concludes our practice of Chair Tai Chi. Let me stop the recording and come up to the camera. Again, McSqueaky today. Again, I'm going to pause. So welcome. We're doing Yang Style Beginners Short Form 12. It's the first 12 postures in the long form, and it's just a little option we provide here at the end of class. So we'll do a little warm up because we were sitting in the chair and we got to get the, because we're at an angle here, sitting in a chair, we got to get the muscles kind of moving. So we're going to shake here. And when you exhale, you may notice a, because it's kind of forcing the breath out. Yeah. So breathe in and out. Now let's bring it up and turn it side. We're also bending the knees, getting those knees lubricated. You might be shaking out the burps here also. Just know that. It might happen. And then come back to the center. Let's do floppy wrists and then palms up. All right, and then we're going to take our toes a little bit out towards the corners and a little soft bend in the knees as we bend the knees and out to the side and to the front. Little twist. Now, if this makes you dizzy, you have your head looking forward, okay? You don't have to turn that head, but if you do turn, you're going to twist that upper body a little bit. We're also going to do opening the gate of life in just a moment. Let's do a couple more swings here. All right, so to do the opening the gate of life, again, my toes are going to be pointing more forward, and we're more out wider than our hip distance apart. And we're basically, it's like that little toy where it swings on the stick. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? But we're hitting, our, what are we hitting here? Our liver, our kidneys. And you can lift the heel to twist a little bit more so you're not torquing the knee. And then bring it more on the upper stomach, mid-back. Very good. All bladder, pancreas, all that good stuff. Now, maybe you can do your chest, your lungs, your upper back. And maybe you can do the shoulders and go higher or not. I can't go too high in the back, but I just do what I can, okay? And then start bringing it down. And then bring it to the waist. And start slowing it down. Very good. With our toes, again, pointed out towards the corners, knees bent. Let's do parry. So it's a little different when you're doing the standing parry versus the seated parry. Keeping that balance, shifting that weight from one side to the other, and then pause, and then wipe it out. Again, it might take a few cycles here to kind of get into a groove. You may want to make your circles smaller, your body movement smaller. And then wipe the windows out. And then wipe the windows in. Very good. From here, walk it in, step it in, step it in, step it in. And come into eagle stance, where our toes are out, heels more towards one another. From here, come up here at the chest level, bring the arms out, get them nice and even, a little soft bend in the knees, and inhale, open up. Exhale, bring it in. Again, inhaling out. Exhale, bring it in. From here, form your Tai Chi ball below your collection center, your dantian. We'll do inward, outward. So inhale, up to the eyes. Exhale, draw it out and down. Inhaling, bring it up. Exhaling, out and down. Again, inward and outward. Now, let's turn the toes pointing towards us or towards the front of the room. And let's do sink and center. So have a little bend in the knees here. I'm going to inhale, rise up to about stomach, hip, ribs level. Exhale, lower. And again, inhale, rise. Draw it back, exhaling and lower. Bend those knees. Again, inhaling up. Draw it back. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhaling, rise up. Exhale, lower. Let's do down, upward, downward. Upward to the shoulders, upward. Breathe in. Draw it towards you. Exhale, lower. And again, inhale, rise. Draw it towards you. Exhale, bend those knees lower. And again, upward and downward. And one more time. Upward and downward. Beautiful. Now I'm going to turn around and we'll start the form. So I'll be cueing as if, you're watching me and all that. And y'all that have been doing this know what's going on. Those of you that have not been doing this, of course, don't know what's going on. That's okay too. So you can follow along, do the best you can, toes pointing out. Some folks have it wider based on their comfort level. And to start the stance, and let me look in the mirror, in the camera, we have the palms facing to the back of the room. So instead of palms towards your thighs or palms forward, turn them to the back. And then we're just going to breathe in and then exhale, bend the knees. And again, inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Now let's start the movement. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Shift your weight into the left side. Take the right foot, step it out, heel ball toe. Shift your weight over to the right side. Once your weight is over there, turn that left foot in. Then shift your weight over to the left side. Turn that right foot in. And then come back to the center. The knees are bent. Let's do center and sink. Inhale up to the hips. Draw it in, exhale, lower. Let's do upward, downward, up to the shoulders. Draw it towards you, exhale, lower. Shifting the weight over to the left side, turn that right foot out, right hand on top, left hand underneath to form the Tai Chi ball. Shift your weight to that right side. First bow and arrow, step the left foot forward, heel ball toe. Now shift the weight into the left side, turn the Tai Chi ball, turn the hips. Weight is on that left side, and we're going to shift back, lift the left foot, turn it parallel, and then shift your weight to the left side. We're going to take that right toe, turn the foot out, step it forward for second bow and arrow, heel ball toe. Now shift your weight and split the ball or ward off, hand in front of your chest, hand by your hip. Inhale, reach back for roll back. Exhale, press into the palm. Inhale, shift it back. Exhale, push forward. From here, inhale, lift, scoot it back a little bit, and you're turning on the heel. Weight's in that left side, and we're drawing a circle with our hands. Now, our weight is going to shift over to the right side, and then we're completing the ball, and then step it back, toe ball, heel, come back to the center, exhale, lower. Now, let's do inward, outward. Form the Tai Chi ball. Inhale, up, exhaling out. Bend those knees. We're going to shift over to the right side, turn the left foot in, draw it in. Let's start over. Inhaling up, exhale down. Let's do that again. Inhaling up, exhale lower. Shifting the right into the right foot, step that left foot out, heel, ball, toe, shift over to the left side, turn that right foot in, shift over to the right side, turn that left foot in, come back to the center. Now it's center and sink. The knees are bent. Inhaling up. Exhale, draw it down. Upward, downward. Inhaling up, up, up. Draw it in. Exhale, lower. Shift your weight into the right foot. Turn that left foot up. Right, left hand on top, right hand underneath. Shift your weight to that left side. From here, I'm turning my head. We're going to take the first bow and arrow. Step that right foot forward, toe ball, heel. Now shift your weight into the right side. Turn the Tai Chi ball, turn the hips. Now shift back, lift that right foot, turn it parallel, shifting the weight into the right side. We're going to take that left foot, turn it out, and step it forward, heel ball toe, second ball and arrow, and then shift the weight, split the ball. Very good. From here, roll back, shift that weight, and then inhale, push into the hands. Exhale, bring it back, fingers up. Inhale, push forward. From here, shift that weight into that right foot, lift that left heel. You kind of scoot it back a little bit, and then you're going to turn on that left heel. You're turning from the Dante in, making that circle. Feels weird, right? Then we're going to shift our weight to the left leg, and then complete that circle, and step it back, toe ball, heel, and then come back in center and down. Now we're going to go back into inward, outward, inhaling up, up, up. And outward, bend those knees, shift the weight into the left side, turn that right foot out, step that left foot in, and do the finishing breath. Inhaling, circle, sweep arms up, and bring down the energy from the universe back down to the Dantian. And then we're going to take that right fist, that's the sun, and that left palm, that's the moon, and end our little short form Yang Style 12 today. Thank you for participating. Let me stop the recording. Thank you all for coming in to do this today. I appreciate that.